Hey, William.
Mm-hmm.
William. Hey. Hey, this Brandon
Yeah.
kid's kind of a
Yeah.
jerk. Wow. He's a real bully.
Look, man, he lives in a society, okay?
you mean
Okay.
you mean a kind, loving society surrounded by parents and friends?
Yes, exactly.
The
And
worst type of
he had
society.
to look, all things need to be put into balance, all right? Okay.
Oh, there are too many living people. He has to kill them all.
Yes, he has to kill them all.
Oh, gee, he has to
God,
take the
dude. It's
world.
just he has to take the God, that is an aspect of the movie that annoyed me so much, but we'll get into that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Hey,
So,
William. So we're talking about
yeah.
Brightburn.
Yeah, we are unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
Hey, a movie that's probably part of a cinematic universe. Apparently, that may
I
or may
mean,
not.
maybe.
Maybe.
Also, you know what weirded me out with the way, again, I hate when they do this, but I only find out about this after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
But this movie was only produced by James Gunn. I always thought he was directing it
Oh
or
no.
something,
Oh no.
but no,
No, that's
no,
how
they
they
make
get
it.
you. That's how
Yeah,
they
I
get
know that's
you.
how they always do that, and it just annoys the hell out of me.
What was it? That reminds.
Ugh.
It's the same thing they did with Moral Engines. Like they put fuck, what's his name? Fuck, who does Lord of the Rings? Fuck
Wait, Peter Jackson?
yeah, Peter Jackson. They put
talking
Peter
about
Jackson's
direct-
name.
Yeah.
They put Peter Jackson's name on
No,
the
yeah,
moral
yeah.
on the moral instrument, and he had nothing to do with the movie or something.
Wait, with what?
The moral instrument, not moral instrument. The fuck.
No, the Mortal Engines. Mortal
The
Engines.
more
is
engine,
what
more
you're
engine.
talking
Yeah,
about,
yeah,
right?
that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, yeah. Same. All these young adult movies are the same if you think about it. They're all
God
the
damn,
same.
dude.
They're all the same. So anyway, hey.
Yeah,
So anyway, back on time. We're
yeah.
talking about Brightburn, a movie that has nothing to do with James Gunn, but somewhat has something to do with James Gunn.
I guess. I mean, I know this is after the whole debacle with Disney and shit. And then they get back to he gets back together with Disney like 9 months later anyway.
Is
So
he related to these two people, Mark and other? Is he related
not to my knowledge.
Oh, they just happen to have the same last name, Mark and Brian Gunn.
I mean, maybe there's a relation. I don't know though. That's the thing. I haven't looked it up.
Oh, James Mark. Okay. He is related to James Gunn. It's written by James Gunn's brother. Oh.
Oh, so that's why he's involved. Okay.
Yeah, I was so confused.
That would make sense.
I just saw the red list. I see both of these names. Like, they both have the same last name as James Gunn. That's oddly convenient. Oh, they're both related. Oh, they're all related. They're part of the Gunn cinematic universe.
Yeah. I forgot. There's they're gonna do their own version of Aquaman. I know Wonder Woman and the Flash. Were they doing their own version of Batman? I don't know if they are.
I didn't see the movie that they made reference to. I never saw that movie. What is that? What's that movie? The one with Rainn Wilson. Super. I never saw that movie, so I have no idea what Super is about. I just know it starts with Rainn Wilson. Yeah, because that's the photo we see during the end credits. But we'll save that towards the end.
Oh, was that okay? I didn't know that was like a reference, but all right.
Yeah, that was in the end credits. We'll talk about that in the end. So here, let's get back to talking about Brightburn. All right, William. So this movie is basically what would happen if Superman wasn't a communist.
Yeah, if he wasn't a communist, sure.
Yeah.
No, it's more like what would happen if Superman was fucking got like what do you call it? Pavlov's dog or some shit. Because I know like there's this whole thing with the ship being like, you know what, just listen to me, do what I say. It's like, yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Which is what I kind of blame it on, and it just kind of that aspect of the movie kind of ruined everything else for me. But again, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
So
Brightburn, it's a superhero horror movie that does not live up to the marketing for this movie. I'm not gonna lie. This movie, the marketing for this made it seem way different, and this movie did not live up to that marketing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it kind of like there's a hype to it, but then you watch it, it's like, I mean, it's like it wasn't a bad movie.
Yeah,
but
I enjoyed it, but it's not like
it's
not
not the
what I was expecting. Yeah,
it's not what I wanted from what
it had a lot of potential, but it didn't fully deliver on those potential. All right, so
because it has a good idea, but then it kind of just like it doesn't continue from there, I suppose, or at least not doesn't continue, but it's like it doesn't do it well, and at least for me, it felt very much stretched, throughout the whole 90-minute movie.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the thing. Like it was way too long for, or either they just didn't really do too well with it.
Yeah.
No, nice
Boy, I
slurp
hope
there,
my
Austin.
eating, I hope my eating really get caught on my audio.
10 points out of
Oh,
100
thanks.
for that slurp.
All right, so let's dig into this movie. All right, so Brightburn, it's so pretty
Just
much
like that soup.
yeah, yeah. Let's just dig right into it. Just like the like the food I'm eating.
Mm-hmm.
So Brightburn is pretty much the Superman origin story, pretty much. So I think that it takes place in Kansas too, right? Yeah. It does
I don't think, does it take place in
yeah,
Kansas?
it actually does take place in Kansas.
Oh wow. Okay, I didn't know that was the name of the city.
Oh
Yeah,
wow,
because it's saying here it's in Brightburn, Kansas.
Wow,
I
boy,
didn't know that was the actual place.
they're really going for that Superman mythos.
Yeah, they really do go after that.
Yeah, with the sad thing, the mother's name is not Martha. That's the sad. That's my one problem with the movie. Her name is not Martha.
God, so that's your problem with this movie?
Yeah.
That's not Martha?
Why did you say that name?
Oh my god. Jesus, dude.
Where is she? No, wait, hold on, wrong one, wrong line. That's a different Batman. It's a different Batman movie. All right, so hey, so pretty much all right. So pretty much a couple who's trying to bang cannot get it on. Can I get a child? So then one day a spaceship just crashed into Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just get a quick fast forward 12 years later, and we see that it was a human child in the spaceship, and now they're raising as their son, and the son is named what the fuck is his name, Tom, Brandon, yeah, there you go, that's the kid's name.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon. And then it's his 12th birthday. You know, he's a big boy now. He's growing up. He's looking at those photographs that all 12-year-old boys look at, dead animals.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and animals.
Yeah, dead animals. That's what all 12-year-old boys look at, photos of dead animals.
Jesus, dude. I mean, was it even dead animals? I thought it was just like medical texts and organs, right?
Was that? I wasn't sure what the.
I mean, I know the. Yeah, I know there's like some medical text that he was looking at too, but then there's like organs. I wasn't sure if those are actually from animals. I have no idea where those pictures
were
from.
I wasn't sure. I thought it was dead animals for some reason. So I assume he was. But okay, looking at perfectly normal stuff 12-year-old boys look at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So he's an alien boy that looks like a human. His 12th birthday. Then it's his 12th birthday. It's his 12th birthday. He gets a gun or something. He gets a gun from his uncle or something. Then he throws a fit.
Mm-hmm.
Then he gets mad. And then so he doesn't get the gun. Next day at school, I'm quickly going through his movie terminator based on my memory, even though I'm technically looking at the Wikipedia page, but I don't need to look at the Wikipedia page. And then one day, apparently there's a girl he likes, but she doesn't like him back or something.
No, because the thing is like, I know there's a scene piece. Like, remember, we're in the scene now. This is obviously alluding to the fact that he's an alien.
Yeah.
And so we know his baby fell down from a space pod, right, and stuff like that, and he gets raised by his adopted parents.
Yeah.
And so basically, they're in a classroom. He's a smart kid, right? And so this is kind of like his chance to show off, I guess, right? Because he's just sitting in class, kind of just drawing his own like whatever. I think it was his logo and stuff.
Yeah.
And then nobody else was really listening, as all kids would, because they're just learning about bees and wasps and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And so the teacher basically singles him out because he's just kind of drawing it in the journal, as teachers do.
Yeah.
And basically he's like, oh, what's the difference between not birds? I keep thinking birds because of birds and the bees, but anyway.
No, hey, birds are important. That's actually important. That's a plot. That's a plot theme in the next movie we're gonna watch. Unironically.
God, I swear to God. But yeah, it's the teacher's like, oh, what's the difference between bees and wasps? And he's like, oh, well, bees are basically they're nice, wasps are aggressive and stuff.
Yeah.
And then he starts going into more and more detail on what he's learned, and so basically he says, oh yeah, but wasps, some wasps are very aggressive. Some wasps are so aggressive they can't take care of their own young or whatever. I don't know. I don't remember the reason.
Yeah,
But then they
wasps are
say they
assholes. Apparently,
yeah.
that's what he's trying to say.
And so the wasps basically they force themselves into other beehives or whatever, and they basically force another bee like another species of bees or whatever to basically take care of their young. Now this is an obvious allusion to basically him and basically his who his people are potentially are,
Yeah.
right? Jerks. And so and then you get a scene where it's like someone basically like you get with this one kid who's basically making fun of him, and then the girl who sits in front of him basically turns around and saying, it's like, hey man, don't worry about what he's saying. All the smart guys get the girls, right? And then basically she's from there, obviously the quote unquote, okay, romantic interest. All right. And so I say that, but it's really not accurate.
Yeah.
It's more his obsession. Okay, we'll say. She's his obsession, and that's kind of the thing. And so, remind me again what was the point you were making, like about like how she like the girl was like what. Like doesn't like calls him a pervert later on, right?
Yeah. She makes she calls him a pervert because before that there was a scene where him and his family him and his mom and dad they go camping or whatever. I think this is around the point where he starts.
This is
around
when
the point where he
this
starts
is
developing
right after his birthday
or something.
What was that?
This is around the point where he starts developing his powers, or the ship starts talking to him or whatever.
No, the ships already talked to him before. Remember, it was before he got the birthday gift.
Oh, okay.
And so after this whole thing, after the ship, does its all mumbly mumble when he's sleeping and shit. It's like he goes to the camp. No, it's birthday. Then he goes to camp, and then during the night. No, because I remember now. Because this is right after they find the papers hidden under his bed, and so they go to camp, and then the father decides to have the talk with his son, and so he's basically saying, if you might fall to your urges from time to time, it's fine. I'm like, yep, that's where it gets worse, because he let him do. He said it's fine, and then he's like, it's fine, just not all the time. And then and then his kid's like, now, and it's like, no, not now. The hell, kid, come on. And then it's the nighttime. They're all sleeping in their tent. Obviously the kid was it Brandon or Brendan? I didn't get that.
Brandon.
I don't remember. Was it what?
Brandon.
Brandon? Okay. Right. And so basically he decides to be no, yeah, we'll go with it. He decides to be a creep and go basically to the girl's house, and then he decides to become he just is weird. He's just weird.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't understand where he gets this behavior at all. But like,
yeah.
But again, that's another thing we'll get into too. But he's in the room. He decides to be a creep and do like you put on a horror trope. He's there behind a curtain, then he's not there, and then there's a laptop that plays music. The girl gets up, closes it. And then the laptop's playing again. She closes it again. Oh no! Then that's when she finds him being creepy behind the curtain. And then she's kind of like weirded, very fucking weirded out by it, understandably.
Yeah.
And then he's not there. So then it's the next. I don't think it was the next day afterwards, but sometime afterwards that
back to school.
They're at the school. They're doing this kind of trust thing. I don't know what.
Yeah, this trust exercise, trust fall. It's pretty much a trust fall exercise.
It's like this trust thing or whatever. And so they're pushing him around, but then it's like he's about to end up right on the girl, but then the girl backs away and stuff. And so
he falls down, and then he gets laughed at. Yeah, the teacher's a real homie.
Yeah, the teacher's like, hey man, just pick him up, dude. That was like, it's not cool. And then she's like, no, but he's a pervert and stuff. Like, I can understand why she might be hesitant. But really, I feel like that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we know that he's a creep. I'm just trying. But it's whatever. I guess. I don't know, kids. But no, it's fine. No, it's fine. I've amended. Well, No, I'm not gonna get into it.
Okay.
I'm almost.
Kids are assholes. What are you trying to say?
Kids are assholes, right?
Yeah.
But he in turn is a superpowered asshole, and so she's supposed to pick him up, and then and then she grabs his hand, but then he's angry and stuff, and then he just with his super strength breaks her arm. It's like, what the fuck, kid? It was big no, the big no.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, where does it go from here?
Okay, so so she picks up and then he breaks her. He breaks. Yeah. So the teacher tells him to hey help him out and pick him up. So so she gives him her hand. Then he breaks her hand or crushes her.
He breaks her. No,
crushes her.
No, he
her hand.
okay. If we're gonna go into specifics, he crushes her hand and then breaks her arm.
Oh, okay. Damn. Oh boy. I'm never crushing her arm.
No, because the thing is,
I mean, her
he
hand.
doesn't crush her arm. He crushes her hand, right? That's when she starts screaming. I remember this because I just watched it this morning. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Like he crushes her hand, but he pulls down even further, and her arm breaks.
Yeah.
At an odd angle, and so it's like, ooh, ow.
Okay. Yeah. So then the teacher and stuff gets called. Well, the sheriff and the principal and the girl's mother all gets called and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Her mother is the waitress at this restaurant. And she gets called.
Yeah, because this is a small town. So everyone. So this. So this is a small town.
Everyone knows each other. Yeah.
Not a big metropolitan type of shit. They're doing a small county town.
Small county town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the mother gets called and all that stuff, and then there's this great scene where the mother looks at Brandon and they just give each other the look. It's like
they give each other the look. I'm like, wow, we're really doing this. Okay.
It's like, Jesus.
Wow, you just staring down a kid. The kid's staring down at you. Wow, this is gonna be a scene.
Mm-hmm. And then next thing, so then after that, so after he gets suspended from so at this point he gets suspended from school, right?
Yeah, he gets like 2 days suspension or something like that.
Yeah, and then this is when this is when he kills the mom, or it's like sometime after this.
No, this is when he starts to go full creepo mode, I think. Mm-hmm. And then I remember it being like, wow, even though it's like recent, I kind of don't remember. That's funny. But yeah, it's like I think he goes back to talk to the girl for it as an apology or something.
This one he finds out about his ship. All right, I'm looking.
He finds out about the ship. He talks to no. It doesn't happen yet, I think. But
yeah,
I'm trying to remember how the timeline goes.
I said that later that night. Yeah, so during the course of this movie, right around when he turns 12, he starts hearing the ship talk to him. There's instances where because he doesn't know where the ship is located, he's just drawn to the ship because the ship is communicating with him by doing these beep beep boop bop 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 beep beep boop bop bop bop.
Yeah,
bop, no,
it's boop boop beep bop beep bop boop. Okay?
Oh, don't you mean beep beep boop bop bop beep beep?
No, I think it was more beep boop bop beep boop. Okay. God damn. Oh my god. But
yeah, so later that night he gets drawn to the ship again.
Yeah.
And then this is when they finally reveal to him that hey, by the way, you're an alien. You're an alien boy. You're not from Earth.
Yeah, and then I mean I can understand why he gets angry because it's like everything he finds out is a lie.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that is an understandable reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Out of every single reaction in this movie, that's probably the most realistic of reactions. Yeah. I will say. So he runs, and then I know this is when he learns what the message of the ship is, what it's saying, and he's like, oh, it means take the world.
Yeah. And
then that's when he learns heat vision.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, he visits the girl with some flowers or something, right? Yeah. So she's understandably very fucking spooked and scared at this point, right? And then she's like, I'm not supposed to talk to you. My mom won't let me talk to you because she's scared. She's trying to use any excuse just for him to stop talking. with her. And then of course he takes this the wrong way and is like, don't worry, I'll take care of that. So this is when he goes and then decides to be a creeper and murder her mom.
Yeah, or kidnaps his mom.
No, murders.
Kidnaps and murder. Yeah, you're right.
No. First of all, it's murder, and he only takes the body away because he doesn't want.
He doesn't want to be found. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
he doesn't want to be found out.
So he murders the mom, and then he planned all this out real fast. Apparently, he's like, all right, I need to draw all these goddamn symbols, but I have to blow on the goddamn glass every single time.
No, it was raining. It was raining that night.
Right. So the
they were already fogged up.
Yeah,
they were fogged up.
But still, he was like, but then he has to go through every single window and then write down, do his stupid symbol. He's like, all right, 1, 2. This kid got a lot of time apparently. He like for a guy who's trying to murder. He got a lot of murder time apparently.
Okay, to be fair though, Austin, the guy is basically has the powers of Superman, and so basically he can just do it like that. Like with he can just do it quick.
Yeah, but still, he's like, that's a lot of effort he put in. He's like, all right, I have this cool idea to freak her out. I'm gonna draw bees. I'm gonna draw the cool symbols.
Look, man, he's like a psychopath, man. Come on now.
Oh
God, I still hate. I kind of hate that aspect of this movie. Like the movie was fine, but like anyway, we'll get into it later.
Mm-hmm. So he kills them all. By the way, there's that fucking shot with her with the glass in the eye was fucking out of nowhere. Jesus fucking Christ.
I know.
I was not expecting.
But I do like the effect that they did with that. But like again, we can talk about that later. Let's just get to the plot.
I was not expecting that scene. Jesus, that scene just came out. What the fuck? Jesus Christ!
You haven't seen the trailers? Have you not seen the trailers?
I saw. I don't think that was in the initial. Like, I remember seeing the first trailer that came out where he just gave out the press. I was like, all right, cool.
Oh, cool. Okay, so you stopped after that? No, yeah, that was like in one of the later trailers that they released.
Really?
They showed off the eye
I didn't realize that. Yeah, but that scene literally just came out of nowhere for me. I was like, because I've only ever seen one trailer where they just deliver on the premise. Like, all right, cool. I like this premise. All right, that's good. All right, I'll put it on my watch list. I was like, okay, yeah, so. So he kills the mom, and then the next day, the police they're investigating the scene. And then the sheriff sees the symbol, and he's like, "Oh, what's with this mysterious symbols and everything?" Yeah,
and then he comes back later on, but he just like, okay, that's weird, and I know it's like he goes to the he has a talk with his aunt who happens to be the school counselor.
Mm.
But then she's like, okay, I have to report, your progress here. And then, he just basically says, yeah, I don't really feel bad about anything. And then he's like, you know what, kid, that's kind of fucked up. I gotta go tell the police, and I gotta go tell your mom and pa. And then she's like, no, don't do it. And she's like, nah, I'm doing it.
Yeah, because it's her job. Because he was like, hey, even with her family, he's like, I can't pull any of the soft stuff with you. I gotta do this.
Yeah. And so it's that night, right after, she says that, he basically comes up to her. He's at her house at night, his aunt's house at night. Mm-hmm. And then, what do you call it? I keep forgetting the words. No, but yeah, he kind of just stalks and messes around with her and stuff, right? With her. And then, he talks to her, asking her again not to, tell anybody. But then she's like, nah, fam, you go home. He's like, okay, fine. I just walk home. Of course, he doesn't walk home, and he decides to just creep around.
Yeah.
And then her husband comes back home, and then I know, he's still in the house, and he's still just being creepy and shit.
Yeah.
And then he decides to take him back home, but then he's like, nah, fam, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Yeah. I'm gonna spook the shit out of you.
Yeah.
And then, the guy gets terrified and like he drives away, but then there's that scene where as he's driving though, like the kid ends up crashing right into his window of his truck, and then the truck just gets fucked up, so it can't start up again. And then the kid just of course does creepy shit because it's a horror movie, but I guess we're having that. Mm. And then he's like, oh shit, oh no, oh shit, and then
so then he picks up the car by the back, then he lifts it all the way up in the air.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then he just
and then
drops the car, and then
yeah, drops the car, and
I
then for
think
some reason the guy's airbag doesn't work, and then
yeah
his jaw ends up colliding with
with the
fucking
steering wheel.
the steering wheel, which is brutal as shit. Like, if anything, for a Superman horror movie, I do appreciate the brutality,
Yeah.
that you show on
There was
screen.
like a lot of horror, so I was like, oh fuck. I was like, yeah, like I wasn't expecting that scene. Going back to the glass, I was like, oh man, no, I was not expecting that. That scene really came out of nowhere. I was like, oh Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was like, ooh,
So yeah,
some horror stuff in this horror movie.
like, I just love the fact, like, this is like you'll see, like, if you watch the movie and stuff, you'll see that the guy's jaw ends up hanging off, and it's just brutal. Like, this, like, you hear the sound and like the blood gushing out. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, it just hurts to see. I'm like, ow,
Yeah.
my jaw. I
Yeah,
feel
so
you,
then,
dude. And then
yeah.
Brandon, he just
Okay.
kind of watches him die and
Yeah.
stuff, like, being like the psychopath that he has now become.
Yeah.
And so then he
He
basically
draws
takes the
the
blood and then
stupid symbol.
just,
He draws the stupid.
he draws a dumb symbol again.
Yeah.
And then,
Hey William, on his planet that means hope. Okay.
on his planet, that means hope. Oh my
That's
god.
the symbol of hope.
Jesus Christ, dude. Sure, it's not just what do you call it? It's not just take the world.
No.
That's not what it means.
It means hope. Everything.
It just means
you
hope.
know what the worst thing about this movie? Everything just happens to be BB in this movie. Like everything is oddly convenient. Be convenient.
I mean,
be
yeah.
Like his last name is like Brandon Briers or something.
Briars, I
yeah.
think.
And they live in Brightburn. I was like, oh man, boy, if any of those two things was a different letter, this movie would have been way different. Like, oh, it just happens that everything just happens to be BB.
Yeah, I know, right? God, dude. But yeah, I mean, it's just because I guess they like that symbol a lot. I don't understand. I thought it was kind of kooky. Personally, I didn't think it was a great symbol.
That symbol reminds me of that super cool S people used to draw in school that nobody knows what their name is.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Well, dude, that's an
you draw
actual thing.
those
If you
6
Google
lines.
The cool S, that's the first image that pops up.
Hold on. Cool. School.
No, just look up
S.
cool S. I think you just look up cool S. It's the first thing that pops up.
Oh my god, it's literally cool S. Oh no.
That's how cool that S is.
They actually called it cool S. Oh my god.
That's how cool it is, alright?
Oh my god, I'm so annoyed. I'm so annoyed at that. Wow.
That S is very, very cool. I found it by accident one day. I was like, when I was trying to figure out what the name of the symbol, and then apparently just literally just called the cool. Like I literally was just typing in Google the S the cool S you draw in school, and then it was like the first thing I was like, it's literally just called the cool S. I'm so fucking tilted by this now.
Oh my god, dude. I can't believe it's actually called that. Yeah, but yeah, sure. It's like it's basically the cool S.
So
oh my god.
So his uncle died, and then the next day his parents tell him about how his uncle died, his uncle died. And he's like, oh yeah, cool, my uncle died, and then basically he doesn't react to it in like a way like a normal person would react to finding out that their family member would die and everything, and then his dad. And then his dad is getting worked up because he knows that his son is lying because pretty much he's been lying to his parents about this. Like, hey, where you been? Where were you? And he was like, oh yeah, I went to play soccer or some shit. And he came home and he came home without his shirt on, and I was like, oh, where the fuck?
Because it has blood on it and stuff.
Yeah, so like, where the fuck's your shirt? And he's like, oh yeah, I lost it or some shit. It's dirty. I'll deal with it. Yeah, so his dad doesn't believe him.
He said it got ripped, but yeah. No, neither of them believes him, but they just don't really get into it.
The mom's a real problem in this movie.
Yeah. I mean, in one aspect, she's probably the only reason why I can understand why she acts the way she does.
Mm.
Because they do like in terms of the a good psychological art, the mother is at least very much believable. Everything else, not so much.
Mm.
But again, we'll get into that.
Yeah. So him and his dad get to fight. He pushes his dad into the wall and everything, and he breaks the cabinet behind him and everything.
Yeah. Then he goes to look for the shirt that he was hiding, and then he finds it bloodstained. And then he shows it to his wife, and then the mother is all like, I refuse to believe that my own child would kill his uncle.
That's just someone else's blood. That's not his uncle's blood.
Yeah, but you can also get why she's in denial. But of course,
so she's just been about all this evidence.
Yeah, and then it's like, I know. Then the father plans a hunting trip, and then during that hunting trip, he basically tells Brandon about the rabbits, and then he shoots him behind him in the head. But of course, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then you get this brutal scene. Like, of course, you can again, this is an understandable reaction on the son's part because his own father attempted to kill him.
Yeah.
And then it was a matter of he kills his father with heat vision, which in what was honestly pretty brutal. It's pretty brutal. Like, again, it's just the brutality of this movie is kind of top notch, I will say.
Yeah.
And then meanwhile, while this is all happening, I know the sheriff ends up going to their house and then asks the wife if he can see Brandon. But then she says, they're not home. Then he shows the wife the symbols that he's found at both of the at the waitress's death and their uncle's death.
Yeah, the crime scene.
Yeah, the crime scene. So you see the symbols there, and then she knows what the symbols are, but she of course says that she's seen them. She's seen them before, but she says she doesn't remember. She doesn't know what those are.
Yeah.
And then, although it's still very weird, like, he is very much correct in this, but, like, I still find it odd that the sheriff is just, like, happens to pinpoint it to Brandon Breyer, because, like, I know, like, the name similarity is a thing, but for one, you live in a town called Brightburn.
Yeah.
That, maybe the killer decided to say he's the Brightburn killer, and that's why he puts it there. But, like, while he's correct in the fact that Brandon is the killer, I don't understand how he jumped to the conclusion that that is a 12-year-old boy that committed these killings.
Yeah.
But again, it's another thing that we'll talk about. But then the sheriff leaves, of course, and then the wife, the mother, ends up going up to the room and then look at the notebooks, and then he basically he sees all the drawings of what Brandon's like. Basically, Brandon drew his murders.
Yeah.
And then Brandon took the world in all over and over again, and basically showed.
Hey, this kid has a lot of art skill. He has a bright future ahead of him if you think about it.
Oh my God, he has a burning bright future.
He has a bright future ahead of him with all his good drawings. He's a good drawer. It turns out.
When he returns to his people, they'll laud it as a masterpiece.
Yeah.
That's basically how it's gonna go.
He'll be hailed as a hero. He'll be hailed as a hero.
God, dude. He'll go and he's like, oh yeah, you did good, kid.
Yeah. He'd say, well, look at these nice drawings. We're gonna hang it up on the.
We'll hang it up right next to this body, right here we planted, of our first kill.
Jeez.
We'll plant it right here with a magnet, right there, right next to that body. That's over there on the carcass, the kind right there. But Jesus. But anyway, but then of course she realizes, he's right about Brandon, and then she attempts to call her husband, but then Brandon answers the phone.
He's like, oh yeah, says, he died.
Yeah, I told father tried to tell me about the rabbits, but I told him about them instead. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh yeah, but guess it's like, where are you right now? It's like, I'm home, and he's floating there menacingly as he crushes the phone.
Yeah.
And then he starts to destroy the house.
Yeah.
And then she calls the cops. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I was gonna say, she calls the cops, and then the police, and then the sheriff comes back with the deputy. I guess it's the deputy.
Yeah, the deputy sheriff.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so pretty much we're in the final climax of the movie at this point. So they both come there like, oh, what the fuck is going on here? How did this house get destroyed and all that stuff? And then they find the mother. She's like, oh, what's going on? And she's like, then she's just hysterical at this point. Not hysterical, but like, she's just like freaked out and everything.
No, understandably so. She's freaked out.
Yeah, and then Brandon just fucking kills the sheriff. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, he just fucking piles him into a tree.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was like, Jesus.
And then, like, I'm very like this is always a thing that has stuck with me even now. But like the deputy sheriff, like she at least had her fucking priorities straight, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because like understandably she's freaked out, but she tells like the mother to go hide, and then she's calling for backup, and then while she's looking for this threat, like the fact that she didn't just up and run after that point is impressive to me.
Yeah,
it is fucking impressive. But of course, like while she's looking around for the threat and calls backup, but backup doesn't get through because the signal for the ship from the ship is apparently messing with the wavelengths of things.
Yeah, apparently that's one of my biggest problems with how so was the ship that was causing out the wave? I was like, wait,
I want to say it is. I want to say it is. Otherwise, I can't explain that.
I kept assuming it could have been because there was time when he kept going to other places without the ship, and the electronic was just spraying. So I assume he had like a fifth superpower of a fifth.
I don't think that's entirely accurate myself, because now I know we're theory crafting at this point, but the thing is, remember that the ship has a telekinetic response with him. So it may not be him, but it may just be affecting things around it through him.
Oh, okay, yeah, because that was one of my biggest issues. Like for some reason, all the electronic stuff kept getting. So basically, every time he does the murder, he does his big ol' first baby's first time murdering, right? Like the electronic of the environment would go haywire for some reason. That was like one of my biggest problems. It's like why there's nothing that was doing it. I was like, is he doing this? Does he have another power besides all of his already god powers to be doing this as well?
No, yeah, and the thing is, what you're supposed to basically interpret from this is basically like he has Superman's powers, but you don't recall Superman ever having I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know about like Silver Age or
Silver Age Superman could do anything. Silver Age Superman can do whatever the fuck he wanted. His name was Superman.
Like drink, like he can just melt down steel and drink it, and it's delicious.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the time when Lex Luthor stored 40 cakes?
Yes.
That was bad.
Yes, he took 40 cakes. 40 cakes. That's 39 too many cakes.
God.
39. Jesus. So all right, so back to the movie. Back to the movie plot of everything. So so the deputy sheriff's like definitely super freaked out. He tells the wife to go high while she tries to deal with this, and then she requests for backup. But of course, Brandon or the ships are. Yeah, I'm dying, man. I'm slowly dying because of the coronavirus.
Okay, good.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why I'm saying good, man. I don't know why I'm saying good.
I hope you get the coronavirus.
No, I think I'm just Superman incarnate. Just like I'm just having psychopathic issues. I'm going through puberty right now, Austin. I'm going through puberty right now. I'm going through my psychopath phase right now.
25?
Yes, I'm 25. I'm going to look, man. I just live longer than you. Puberty happens differently for me, for my people. Okay.
Okay, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. Look, man. Soon you just have me going around just being a creep to women, and then just like fucking.
Wait, aren't you already a creep to woman?
Oh, okay. Hold on. What are you implying here, Austin?
What?
What are you?
Anyway,
what the fuck are you
back
implying?
To the plot. So the deputy sheriff
No,
was like,
don't go back to the goddamn plot.
and then she just gets fucking brutalized. Jesus Christ. Fuck.
Yeah, it gets pretty brutal. Like,
yeah,
holy shit,
he just gets it. Yeah, he then just fucks everyone up super bad. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know. Everyone dies a brutal death at this point. And so, we did forget to mention one thing. I think we did. I don't know. I don't remember if he did, but I remember there was a scene, but like when he finds out that he came from like an alien ship, Brandon basically he finds it. He falls on the ship, but he finds that the metal from the ship can actually cut his hand and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is a plot point that happens. Now this is relevant because the mother remembers that. And so she remembers that the ship can injure him, and so she runs to the barn and goes into the cellar. And in that cellar, that's where she basically finds his as I said before, quote unquote romantic interests, mother.
Yeah, the
and
body.
The waitress, and he that's where he he basically put her body in there, and of course the mother freaks out. But then she grabs the she arms herself with a piece of the ship.
Yeah.
And then there's this moment where Brandon is just standing in front of his mother, and then she's like, "I know you're still good in you," and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then Brandon's like, "Oh, I tried to be good. I know I tried," which is bullshit. But I know this is a moment where I feel like I should be believing him, but it doesn't work. But again, we'll get into that. And then she hugs him and then is about to stab him with the with the piece of the ship, but then Brandon of course figures it out, and then then he stops.
Yeah, she took too long with that stabbing. All right, that's the problem. She took too long. She wasn't fast enough.
God, dude. And then it's like he's angry. He flies up. They fly up to the roof. She's obviously injured because of that.
Yeah.
And then they're above the clouds, and then he drops her to her death.
Yeah.
And then the most convenient shit happens, where an airplane is flying towards Brandon. And then we get a cut where the scene goes dark. And then it's the next day. You see the police, there are paramedics, like FBI, at the farm.
Yeah, because after an aviation crash, the FBI would get involved, obviously.
Yeah, and then they're there, and so basically everyone's like, "Oh shit, there's an airplane crash into this house," and then the news reports that Brandon was the only surviving family member from that crash, and basically saying that he basically crashed that plane, took the time to go back to get his father, plant the body there, and his mother is there already from the fall. So then it's like, oh, you know what? They all died in the crash, and he's the only one who lived during that.
Conveniently, like everyone else, like I think the plane had like 260, 270 or some shit people on it. They all died. Like he's the only one that happened to live conveniently.
Yeah, but stranger things have happened. I will say. But it was not a bad plan on his part, at least in the end there.
Yeah, he planned this. He planned for the plane to be there. And then of course he had time. Then of course he had time to draw the stupid symbol on one of the planes. I was really disappointed. He didn't draw it all over the plane.
Yeah, but
we always see we see I think on one piece of metal. I was like, oh, what the fuck? He didn't even bother to do on the rest of the plane. Oh well, he's slacking. He needs to up. Those are rookies numbers, all right. He needs to get pump those numbers up.
Yeah. God, dude. But it kind of ends. Well, it doesn't technically end there, but there's a bit of a.
Yeah, then we have this weird creep shot where the camera just slowly pans in on his emotionless face. By the way, the kid that plays Brandon did a really good job in this fucking. I'm not gonna lie. The kid that
plays Brandon.
Yeah, that kid did a good job. He did a good job. Yeah, so,
I want to say it's Jackson Dunn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Jackson Dunn. Okay.
So then we end quote unquote end the movie with as the camera just slowly pans in on his face as we see how emotionless he is as he just starts eating eating the cookie because apparently the FBI agents gave him a cookie. It's like, hey kid, you want a cookie? He's like, yeah, oh yeah, I want a cookie. My family just died. I love cookies. That's the first thing I'm gonna eat if my family ever dies. A cookie.
God, dude. Yeah, but I know that there's during the credits, as the credits play, their report, there's a news report cover of Brandon going on worldwide attacks everywhere, and I know there's a conspiracy theorist who basically starts saying, oh yeah, there's this kid, there's this super alien monster, Brightburn, or I think that's what they call him, right?
Yeah, they call him the Brightburn. He's called Brightburn now.
Right, and then
so there's footage of reports around the world of him.
Then this is where we get some quote unquote world building, I guess we can call it, where he's basically saying, oh yeah, there's this guy, and then there's other super beings. We need to get ready. We need to take some action, and then credits roll, and then that's it. Austin, do me a favor, pause real quick.
Okay.
Pause your audio.
Recording my audio again.
I'm going to do that right now.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
I'm recording now.
All right, 44 minutes.
I mean, no, what to do is
44, 45 minutes.
I'm a second late behind or something like that. Just 2 seconds behind you. But just do the sync again.
All right, that's fine. All right, we're gonna audio sync again in 3, 2,
Blueberry jam.
1. Applesauce. All right. So we are audio sync, and we're gonna start again in 3, 2. One. All right. Yes. Yes. It clearly yes. It is definitely not a break.
Yeah, we didn't get a break
that's
at all.
happening right
Even
now.
though I got this mysteriously out of nowhere.
Yes, we are still in the same conversation of conversations we are talking about. Yeah. So we are in the end credit. We are in the end game now.
Okay.
Yeah, so we get that's pretty much the credit scene. We get splices of news footage of around the world reports of him doing his murder, doing his happy murder stuff and everything. And we get then we also get footage being cut between of conspiracy theorists say, hey, there are monsters out there. Someone could call them a dark universe.
This is all a ploy for the dark universe all along. My God, mind blown.
Yeah. So we get is it Michael? Fuck, I keep forgetting. Michael Rooker's character, who plays the conspiracy theorist, like, hey, there's these fucking monsters out there. Then we get they talk about like the half man half fish, which is obviously a call to Aquaman, and then there's or a witch that ties people up with her magic rope, which is obviously a
Wonder Woman
callback to a reference to Wonder Woman, and then a guy in a and a guy in a suit, and then fucking a guy in a suit, which is obviously Batman, which is of course there's a reference to the Crimson Bolt from Super, which is James Gunn. This is a movie that James Gunn actually did. This is a movie he actually made. It's called Super, which was an actual superhero movie, which we should probably discuss about because I guess this is a thing now. So he appears in a photograph. So they're quote unquote setting up a universe now with these characters, with in this universe of characters and everything.
I guess so. I don't know. It's not. It's like it could just be a cameo, but they did think about doing some sequels to this later on to expand on its universe. But it's a possibility.
Oh, okay. Oh, this guy's literally just Batman. Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay. Oh yeah, so that's pretty much the movie. And then also they decided to play bad guys during the fucking credit. I was like, well, fuck. Fucking bad guy came out.
Yeah, I know. It was so at odds with the tone of the movie earlier. It's just kind of annoyed me. Because it just kind of ruins the tone. Look, if it matched, I guess if it matched it, then yeah, it would have worked. But it really didn't. It was very offsetting. Right, so I guess if anything, we should talk about the positives before we get into the negatives of this movie. So again, if anything, what I do like is perhaps, if anything, the brutality of it, because it's like for a superhero movie and to show typically in superhero movies you don't get to see that kind of brutality except maybe in Deadpool. But here, Brightburn taking the concept of Superman being evil and then just seeing him, a potential Superman character, basically fuck around with people. It was like that. It was actually kind of fun for a bit, but it does wear out its welcome, I will say. A lot of there's some good camera shots. Like now, there's a scene when Brandon is messing with I'm gonna look up the character's name. No, not Brandon. Erica. That's the the waitress. The mother of the girl, Erica. So now there's this thing. Well, I guess somehow he messed with the lights. I don't know if that may have been him or it could just be bad lights, but we'll never know. So, but like the lights break, and then you have all this glass, very realistically, basically cutting down into her face and stuff. And so, but you get like this one piece of glass that happens to get in her eye. Now, this is a brutal scene in and of itself. When you I like it when you see her she opens she keeps her eye open, but her eye moves, but also the glass moves. But you hear the glass move with her. It's like ugh, and then you see her taking the glass out of her eye, which is also kind of
that scene was very brutal.
You're just watching it like and then she takes it out, and then just like blood splatter and stuff. It's like oof. Ow, right? But they do this interesting thing where for some moments we get into her perspective of things. And so she's looking around. And so when you're looking at the camera, you see half of that camera is like covered in blood while the other half isn't. And it was kind of cool. And so like for most of the shots, whenever you see Brandon's character as as his costumed identity, Brightburn. Um, you basically see him basically resting in the on the left, like it's her left eye that's like bloody, and so you see Brandon on the left side of the camera with all that blood, and I always thought that was kind of neat. I like that, like I like the usage of like like going to that character perspective and just seeing like the bloodied eye, and then you see how she like Brandon's there. Basically, it's just like, oh yeah, he's evil and stuff now. So that's one of the positives.
Yeah.
Okay, otherwise, other than the brutality of it, I mean, the only other thing I guess I can say I appreciated a lot, or not a lot, but that I at least appreciated that they did was probably some of the psychological aspects for the mother, because you get you could now you from the beginning of the movie you understand that the mother let's see, who was named Tori, and her husband Kyle. We really should have named these characters when we were talking about them. But they were having troubles basically having a child. And so it's understandable when the ship crashed, and then, with Brandon in there, it's understandable why she took that as a good sign, because she's been trying for years trying to have a kid, from what we're getting. And so like when you go through her, like there's these things that happen. And she that she tries to play up. He's like, this is her kid. This is a kid that she's been wanting for years, and so she tries to hang on to that. And so like when Speds just starts happening around Brandon, she starts trying to find other reasons as to like put it off or face away or to basically hide away from the truth of the things. Like with her, like when let's see if her character's name Caitlin. Yes, Caitlin. Now, this is the girl that Brandon's interested in. Caitlin. When her arm breaks, she like, while there's an argument, it's like, well, yeah, he was kind of like, a dick in this. Like, she understands that as well. But when the mother is, saying, I want him locked up and stuff like that, and then, she starts putting up this kind of argument, basically saying, oh, yeah, but you're the one who wants to do things to a 12-year-old kid. And she's like, I'm sorry for what happened to your daughter, but stop. Basically, and that's her way of just kind of like trying to deny the truth of things. And then there's this whole thing with her husband, and basically her husband can see the truth for what it is, but she can't, because again, this is the kid that that she's just wanted to have a child for so long. So like at least from there, and it's like she at least feels like she has a kind of character arc, where she goes from she has a kid, she has the kid. She raises this child all like with her husband. She loves him, but it's hard to confront the fact that your child is basically a fucking psychopath, which she does kind of have to confront at the end of it. But it does get a little silly at the end, but because you get this whole thing like she's getting like I don't know, it's she like again with you like she's like first of all. She took way too long with the stabbing him thing. Okay, we're gonna go with that. But even then, I can understand her why she hesitates. But god damn it, stab him, stab him. But, at least then she has a character arc. But for me, like I guess it's decently shot as well. We'll go with the cinematography and stuff.
Yeah, there was a lot of good shots in it. I said like. There was a lot of good shot, like I'm real like when you talk about how when Erica gets the blood in her eye after being in the glass, like that POV shot of him, like there's a lot of good shots about that. I like there's another good shot where we see all these weird creepy shots of him floating for the first time, like so throughout the we see a general progression of him. I guess unlocking or getting better control of his power. Like the first time we see him, he only floats like a few inches off the ground. So like you only see like a few inches off the ground. And the next time we see him, he's completely flying off the ground. So there was a cool shot. Like I really like the shot when he kills his uncle. What's his uncle's name?
Noah.
Noah. Does the uncle have a name? No, Noah. Yeah. When he kills his uncle, like we get that really good shot of him, from the back of his leg. We see like it's just like him like falling like a few inches off the ground. Like I like that. That was a good shot. I like that shot. That was
that was fun too. Because they do some horror aspects right, I will say. No, I like the effect that they have with his eyes whenever he has this like kind of heat vision going on. Like it changes into this menacing
Yeah.
orange yellow color. And it just like looks horrifying in the dark.
Yeah.
Whenever they have his face shrouded
Yeah.
and stuff. And the costume actually kind of accentuates that. So, the costume isn't so bad, but, it's a kid's costume, so, you don't get too much from it.
Yeah.
Probably the only other thing is that, like... I mean, a lot of the rest of the movie is kind of negatives for me. Now, I will say, like, it's a decent watch. But it's nothing to write home about. And honestly, it's just, like... It's like... They give this implication, like, here's the thing. Now, from how I thought this movie was going to go out, is basically, it's basically him, basically Brandon discovering his powers and basically going on a power trip, but he's trying to resist it because he has his parents' influence. But then I was hoping that it was going to be more like, he has these powers, he can do whatever he wants, so why not? And so I was kind of hoping that we would get that, but the thing is, the way they do it in the film here is basically they make it seem like, and I guess if that's for a story to a building aspect they don't want to do, that's fine, but it's basically him as a kid. He's basically Goku, is how I'll say it. Like no, not Superman, but Superman? In terms of Goku. Now we know Goku is basically from the race of Saiyans, who was sent to a planet to conquer it. That's basically how it goes. That's basically what Brandon is here. And so basically, it's not like he's doing it, but it's more like he's being influenced by the alien message from the ship that's transmitting it. And that's what annoys me, because it's like it's not him, but it's just like the alien ship that does it. And I would have appreciated it more if it was like, oh yeah, he like at this point he realizes that he has these powers. And then he can use them, and then at first he's doing it whatever, like he's doing it to do whatever he wants. But then I felt like maybe his parents would have gotten involved, saying, "Son, you can't do that. We'll tell you the truth of your thing." And then maybe he again, I like the scene where he gets mad because that's that's a realistic, understandable reaction, finding out that your whole life was a lie. And then I was hoping, maybe after that, maybe he starts kind of like again, I also understand the fact that like there is a scene, like there is like to a previous scene we're talking about when he's talking to his aunt, when about like how he feels like he's from a superior species. I felt like maybe that we would have gotten at one point where like he kind of realizes that maybe he kind of like really shouldn't fucking do this stuff, but then it's like that's like, and then we get to the scene where his father tries to kill him and stuff. Because then it's like maybe like people push him around. That's why he kind of gets pushed to like fucking evil and stuff like that. Because he lives in a society.
Yes.
That's kind of how I thought this would be, more like a psychological horror thriller type of thing, and that we kind of explore like what if we didn't treat Superman well, like really really like badly maybe, or whatever. That's kind of the movie I expected, but we don't get that. And it's like you get this this kid who's like, oh yeah, he's I don't think he's bullied. People tease him because you get that like the one kid who basically says something like, oh
yeah. Out of every character that did not die in this film, the bully character did not die.
Nothing happens to the bully character, and so
everyone else just died.
Yeah, and so it's like you think that would start it or something. But then, I kind of figured we would have a scene, like, if that was going to happen, you get the bully character. He's about to, kill the bully character. But then he kind of realizes, oh, he's just a kid like me. Because, maybe he's crying or something, crying for his mother or whatever, who he would love as well. We have our own Martha moment. But, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And so, like, you think you get that. But then because of all these horrible things that he's already done before, his father feels like he has no choice but to get rid of his son, even though he loves him so much. And then, that's what pushes him over the edge, which I can see, but we don't get that. And so it's, I think that's the thing, because a lot of the thing, like, a lot of everyone else are just kind of vehicles in showing off the power trip, but not more or less the aspect of what that power trip is doing for the kid. Because you get the sense that he's already a psychopath, but the thing is, he wasn't always a psychopath. It was the ship making him do this, and so it's like, okay, just just get rid of the fucking ship or something. I don't know. And it just kind of annoys me because it's like we could have had this extremely different like movie, at least in terms of how they would have explored the character, but we just get Superman with horror tropes, and we don't really get a development for his character. We just kind of, it's like, oh, just he was a nice kid, but now he's evil now. That's how it is.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing I really enjoyed was that I wanted to see him take the turn to evil as well, but he was just being evil because the ship was like he never. I felt like everything that he did in this movie was not because he chose to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everything was because of the ship. I really wish I wish there was like a better versus concept of like, maybe the parents are against the ship or something. Maybe the parents figure out so they have to stop the ship or something, yada yada. Right, but nothing ever happens to the ship. Like they keep hyping up, like the ship was just a MacGuffin throughout this movie. It was like, oh yeah, hey, everything is happy in the movie because of the ship, and nothing really happens to the ship. Like I wish maybe the parents figured out something was going on, so they tried to stop the ship, but the ship is telling him to stop his parents from stopping the ship and stuff like that. Right, but they never. It's like everything just happened to him because the ship's like telling him, and it's like, hey, go kill. Go kill some people. Go take the world. Take the world.
Oh my god, no,
just
beep, okay.
Right?
But yeah.
Shut the fuck, we're not doing this fucking joke game. We're stuck in this fucking story. I don't know. We're not doing this joke twice. God damn it. Yeah, so that's what I do too. Like we. Like it's not like we didn't get like a real descent into evil so even though this is a bad analogy, but I want to bring up Anakin from Star Wars from the prequel trilogy. Like we see his descent into evil, right? Like we saw how Palpatine influenced him to become evil, right? But then Palpatine was the starter, right? But then at that point from there in Anakin's story, like he then goes down the path of evil, right? It's not like everything. It was like, imagine like Star Wars like Palpatine would just tell him to do everything. Like, hey, all right, you're evil. Go kill kids. Go kill Obi-Wan. It's not like, but right. It's like that. I wanted to see something like that where like I don't know, you just get the ship just start to influence like I don't know, maybe like something I want to see is like maybe the parents have like a good. Like he builds up like apparently like so one thing we learned from the ship is that there's like a bond or some shit, right? Like some like psychic telekinetic bond or some shit. Like maybe the ship couldn't go through because of his parent because of the parents' love, right? Like the love of the parent is too strong or something, so the ship has to weaken. And then as the bond goes up weaker, then he becomes evil
because it could have been
like that, right?
The ship is like telling him to do this, but he resisted. So the ship instead. Maybe we don't have a talking thing, but it shows him images like, why not just, why let the bully do that to you? Why not just do this to him? Wouldn't that feel great? It maybe just shows images.
Yeah.
And so, then he's like, you know what? Yeah, I think you'd be right. And then, it starts pushing him.
Murder does sound fun. I'm really into that murder thing now.
It suggests these
let's do
things.
that.
Like, that's another aspect that could have been done, too. But it could have suggested these things and been like, yeah, just do this, do that, He's like, no one can do anything to you, so why would you let them do anything? Just, you do it before they do anything to you. Or you get them to stop. And it's like, yeah, sure. And it makes sense to him, because, like, he gets bullied, people are telling him not to do this or that, but he's like, I don't have to listen to you anymore. But then, there's the aspect with his parents. And then, of course, the whole thing with, like, then you can just have the father, basically the father and the mother are basically this threat of humanity for him. And so that's the only thing that he can't stop. And then, maybe he decides one day, you know what? I'm going to stop. It's like, I know these things are horrible now because of,
Yeah, murder's bad. Hey, kids, murder's bad, by the way.
Don't and so basically it's like that. And then it's like, then the father can, end up trying to shoot him again, or not again, but he shoots him. And then, then that's the fall. That's when the fall happens. Because, it's someone from he loved and he trusted that, decided to do that to him. Again, my aspect and your aspect of the, or my take on what the movie could have been and your take on what the movie could have made things so much more interesting. And at least make sense. Because, because the thing is, it's like, it's just like, because you get, like, from the way these characters are talking, it's like, oh yeah, he was a nice kid, but now he's even law. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
It's just like
became evil.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, I was like, because throughout the movie, there's like to infer that he was he was evil. Like literally throughout the we just say, hey, he's a happy go lad, go lucky lad, or whatever the fuck. Then he just magically becomes evil. Like that's not how evil in like from like a writing trope. Like that's not how evil works. You don't just make a character.
Yeah, there's
evil,
a reason
right?
for this fall or their descent or why they turned to that stuff in the first place.
Yeah. Yes, that's the one thing I really like was how the ship was just literally like everything in this movie was just literally because of the ship.
And that's why it's like that kind of puts a damper on everything else when you're watching it. Because then you start giving him the psychopathic behavior, insisting like, oh yeah, he was always a psychopath, you know? And he was always doing this kind of weird shit. But it's like, but it wasn't until the ship happens, and it was like, well, all right then. If they're gonna imply that he was a psychopath, just don't have the ship thing happen, and just show that he was doing this kind of weird shit before, which they kind of do with the pornographic material he was hiding. But it's like, again, it's like it doesn't make sense with the character that he was before, and so it doesn't work. But yeah, that's just like it's a decent thriller. Like you do feel some kind of tension, I guess. Also, here's my thing. Again, before we get into it, here's another thing. While I enjoyed the horror aspects of it, why didn't he just kill them outright? Why did he have to fuck with them? Like, you know, I know it's like a horror thriller type of thing.
The ship was telling.
Yeah,
the ship was telling him to do it.
It's like, hey,
the ship's
just be
like,
spooky.
hey, Mike,
kill them if you're gonna do it.
Yeah, be spooky. Even though technically that shit doesn't know what the fuck the concept of spooky is, I guess.
I'm just like, that's another thing because it's like, why are you taking the time to spook them and mess with them if you could just kill them? Because honestly, these people aren't like they aren't the worst thing. If it was your bully, then I would get it, you know. And maybe again, that's another aspect that's lost. If he just fucks with the bully, trying to make him paranoid and shit, then yeah, I can see that. But it's like, whatever. It's like, okay, sure. But I don't know. It's just like it's a decent thriller, but that's about it. And it's just like,
yeah. I like the concept. I felt
they could have done they could have built
it
more on
better.
the concept if it wasn't just like they really stretched it. You know, they didn't do it too well, if anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not about all I have to say on that movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like this movie. I thought it was good. I'll give it like 6, 7.
I put it around
that.
Solid
I put it
6.
around there.
It's decent. Nothing right about.
Yeah, like if they continue with this universe and build off of it, I would like to see what they do because I like this because I like the whole not dark but like no not dark universe but like a whole more of like a villain-esque movie superhero franchise instead of the current trend with superhero movies like an actual dark superhero universe. Not dark universe, a dark superhero universe. Like that fish guy. I don't know. He could be cool. That fish guy might be cool. The witch. Who knows? The witch might be great.
We'll see.
And see what else they can build off from this season. Because like there's some interesting stuff, right? Because right now we know there's 4. Well, hold on, 3 because I believe the character from Super, the guy that appears in the end credit, played by Rainn Wilson from that movie, I don't think he has superpowers. I think he's just a guy in a suit.
I mean, I could look that up right now.
So far we. Yeah, so because apparently he's supposed to be Batman or some shit, but he's not rich and he's not smart. And he's not Batman. So we know from so far in this universe, there's like at least 3 super powerful beings. We got Brandon, we get the fish guy, we get the fake Aquaman, we get the witch, aka the fake Wonder Woman. So I would like to see if they do develop and see what happens with those with the other characters and see what happens.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
well,
that's
hopefully
pretty much it. Like there's potential in this universe. It's very interesting. It gives off this universe is a very interesting concept, but as long as they make it actually interesting enough. As long as they don't squander the
potential that they have, then it should be fine. Which they kind of did here, but probably hopefully they'll learn from that by now.
Alright, I guess that's pretty much it now. My God, this took way longer than Brightburn. We spent a lot of time talking about Brightburn.
Yeah, I mean, we had 2 jokes about beep boop boop bop, you know?
You mean beep beep boop bop bop?
My God.
No, it's beep beep bop bop boop.
Beep bop bop boop beep bop boop.
Okay, it's alright. Thanks for listening, guys. Okay, thanks. Bye. Bop bop.